All right, hello. I'm back. Start working on the front-end loader again for Alistair's mining challenge. So got some good stuff done last time. Start getting some lights put in. Start working on the detailing, which is good. The functionality all works well. I just need to get the detailing in. Let's see. Control Z that sucker. Let's see. What do we want? We want this color. Yep, that's the one already in there. All right, good. All right, functionality works well. Starting to work the dash last. I did the doors. We've got the speedo is in. We've got let's see. Low bat should be yellow. This should be all black. Oh shit! I forgot it. Forgot it does that one too. That sucks. All right, gotta fix that then. Did a couple of my doors here. It undid it. All right, good. So that's fixed up, and then we'll keep working on finishing this dash. I think that will be a good thing to do. So we got speedo in the middle. We've got tack. Speedo just needs a conversion. Tack, so I'll put that in and knock that off of that. Let's go ahead. Yeah, linear should work fine. All right, so let's start working on this panel. I'm going to take my blank microcontroller. Let's see. Blank. All right. All right, so now the blank will have that in there because I put that in there every time anyway. All right, I just forgot what the hell I was gonna do. Let's start working on instruments. All right, so we need to have a no composite in. So we have to have a number in for the battery. Battery. We do need to have a composite out to read out that and all the information. That's fine. We need to have RPS. RPS comes in. We need to read temperature. Composite input, engine. So I think that's it, right? And then I was going to put the conversion for the speedo on here. All right, linear speed conversion. Okay. If the music's a little too loud, knock it down a touch. Yeah, very good, very good. All right, linear speed conversion, linear speed. We'll do a function. I've already got it written out to miles per hour, but I'll make it so you can convert it. Okay. All right, X times Z, let's see, value, MPH, speed, option 1 is going to be MPH. That will be, it's the conversion off the top of my head. Let's see, meters per second to MPH. Fuck Christ. No, I don't want, not interested in AI mode ever. Please go away. 2.23. All right, that's good. Trying to make these so I can use them for other things too. 0.94. $3.6. All right, that's good. How's it going? No, I'm not going to be able to do any reviews. I have almost no time off anymore, so not going to be able to do anything like that, sorry. RPS. What is that? That is panel. Okay. All right, let's see. Engine. It's pretty much only doing temperature. See, read 3. Yeah, sorry, I just don't have time for that anymore. Linear speed conversion, that's fine. So that would have been. I need tack as well, so engine. I think I have temp, then RPS, then battery, and then low bat. All right. So that's going to be temperature. RPS, I'm going to convert out. RPM. Battery is going to be times 100. All right, so this is ready to be processed here. Okay, that's going to be engine, RPS, battery. That's going to be the blinker there. All right, there we go. All right, good. So that's done. Let's plug that all in. Hopefully, I didn't just delete something. I put it up above, so it shouldn't. It did. It cut off one of the lights. Piss. All right, I'll fix that later. God damn it. I'll fix that later. Take me 2 seconds. Let's just do it now. All right, that'll work. That's the right cherry right there. All right. All right, good. Let's start plumbing this in. That's going to be battery. As long as they're running together, which they are, they'll be fine to run one of them like that. RPS. Linear speed. Where did I put that? Right here. Absolute. Okay, that's good. Linear speed conversion. Speedo. Okay. Okay, I just renamed it. Why didn't it go? Why did I not rename it? Did I not save it? What the fuck was this? Oh, linear speed. That's what. Okay. Okay. That's why. Okay, good. Let's see. That's gonna go to the panel. That is engine. That's gonna go to the engine. All right, good. That's done. Let's fire it up. Just give it a quick test. No, it takes too many microcontrollers. It should make dedicated micros convenient. So, like, what do you mean? Like, I have pre-builts when I need pre-builts, and I have customs when I need customs. All right, let's see what that's gonna be. Should be 600. I think I set it to 750 max. All right, we'll index that to 1,000. Temp's fine. Fuel's fine. All right, let's index that to 1,000. Let's see. All right, 1,000 then. That's good. Let's go ahead and set the fuel rate. Something. Let's put a fake number in here. Make sure the blinker works fine. All right. No. Why is that not? Why is that not reading right? Okay, what the hell is that doing? Oh, 0.1. That's why. Okay, 0.1. No wonder. All right. All right, low fuel's showing at 20%. That's good. Yeah, this is for a challenge coming up. It's one of Alistair's challenges. It's due the 29th. Okay, speedo is set. That's set to 20. Do 25 miles an hour. Yeah, it's fine. That's good, that's good. That's all good, that's good. See if there's something I want to do here. Put a horn in later. Got lighting set up. That's good. Alright, so dash is pretty much set up the way I want it. Okay. We'll do those instead. That's good. I think what else I want or need. To get that pretty set in, I gotta fix this and put in block here. Alright, that's good. Let's see. I think what else I need here. Yeah, I have prefabs when they make sense, but like I have to hide all these micros, so making some custom build stuff is works a little bit better. I got a lot of space to put micros in here too, in the fuel tanks. Oh, I got to index fuel tanks. Let's do that. I gotta do the fuel tanks. So fuel tanks have to go in here. Okay, it's supposed to be fuel gallons, and that's low fuel. So that's not battery, it's fuel. That's annoying. I gotta make this work here. So I did a battery. Trying to decide, do I want to have fuel or not? I think what we'll do is add fuel, and I will get rid of the low bat. That's what I'll do. Okay. Yeah, that's what I'll do. Gotta do 2 of these. Alright, that's good. $3.75? Let's see. $3.78. Okay, 3.78. Alright, that's what we'll do. Alright, that'll work. I'm thinking about if I want to put some overhead stuff like cameras there, that might be add a little bit more interest to it. I gotta put windows in here. Okay, that's good. Now let's plumb in the fuel tanks. Let's see what that is and put a convert in there. I'll change the name of these. All right, that's good. Now let's see where I need to index that gauge at. Showing 99, so 100 gallons will do it. Nah, I gotta fix it. That's wrong. All right, that's wrong. That's battery. Let's go fix this real quick. Gauge, fuel, G, vertical 0, and then I'll see what it is. What the fuck? Is a hole in there? What's it doing? The fuck is it doing? Am I leaking fuel somewhere? Don't believe so. Don't believe so. The hell is that doing? Oh, it's X plus, that's why. X plus Z. That would be why it was insane. Was multiplying them. Yeah, just multiplication issue. Alright, that is now at 135 gallons. Alright, good. $140 gallons, that finishes that. Dude, I don't need help doing all this, man. Don't need help doing any of this. I got 7,000 hours in this game. I think I'm good. Think I'm good doing it the way I'm doing it. Yeah, audio's out for a second. It did this the other day and it came back, so. Should probably put a counter just so I know when it's full. I kind of hate that idea of putting a fill counter on there, but especially for the challenge, it kind of makes sense to do it. Okay, audio's back. Why is it not doing the brakes here? Something screw up with the brakes? I must have double tapped it. Doesn't sound like the drill's going. Let me fix the drill here, see what's up with that. Yeah, drill's broken. Alright, let's fix that, see what's wrong with that. I might have knocked something out doing something. Alright. Where's the electricity on this one? This one is going there, there. It goes up to this transmission, which it shouldn't. It could. It's not, does not need to. That goes there, fine. This is going to the hot side there. All right, let's see. I might have screwed up one of the linkages here. I gotta find it. See where that screwed up. So let's go. All right, so that's fine. That's fine. That goes to there. Okay, okay. Oh, I know what. I know exactly what it was. All right, I know what's up. That is there. This does go here fine. This, no, that's powered. That is powered. Okay, let me see. It's on the hot bus. It got deleted. Okay, that's what it was. It got deleted. All right. Let's see. All right, constant number right there. Find a spot for this. Put it right here if I can get it in there. All right, put a 1 in there. All right, there we go. That's what's up with the drill. All right, nice. That got deleted when I moved to microcontroller, likely. Should have checked the drill before I started moving. I don't hear it going. Yeah, I don't hear the drill going. I used to be able to jump out the window, and I can't do it anymore. So. Yeah, something's still boned with the drill. I gotta fix it. All right. Goes in there, goes across, down, goes through here. There's that. Goes through there. Comes up here. Okay, that's where it got broken. It's broken right here. Shit. That's not good. That's something I need there, too. Damn, that's not good at all. This right here broke my drill connection. I gotta try to fix it. It's kind of ugly to fix, too. That is kind of ugly to fix. I need to move. I'd have to move the cylinders to get that to fix right. Can I move these back one? No. The answer is no. All right, let's see if I got space to move those back one. This sucks. All right, let's see. I might have the space to move that back one. I gotta see. All right, let's try moving it back one. See if I have the space. Yeah, I might have the space to move it back one. All right, let's try it. Yeah, it's gonna hit probably. I gotta. Sucks, man. Yeah, this is going to be interesting. This will be interesting. All right. Yeah, it's too they're too far back now. All right. We'll put those back where they belong. Took me a while to get that geometry where I wanted it, so I kind of need to leave it where it is, and then I can fix it another way. Okay. Okay. All right, good. That's fixed. I gotta route the drill connection through here, and I moved this here for geometry reasons, and now I gotta put it forward likely. I would like to kind of spread this out, but that's gonna be an interesting problem too. Alright, so that's can be reconnected now out of the front. Alright, that's good. Alright, that will do it there. Alright, good. Let's go test the drill. It should connect now, fine. I cut it when I moved something. Didn't realize it. Should hear it right off the bat. Oh. It's not supposed to be a constant. Let me find the... How did that get disconnected? Gear indicator, where was it? Oh Christ, I deleted a whole panel somewhere. It's got to be in an old build. I'll find it in a second. Coolant pumps, alternator. Ah, shit. I deleted a whole panel when I moved something. I'll find it. Okay, let's save this real quick. I busted it up when I did something else. Yeah. I'll go into an old version of the build and find it and fix it. All right, let's save this. All right, let's load the backup and see if it's there. It's lighting, transmission, bucket tilt, arms controller. Yeah, so it was earlier than that. So I'll check earlier build than that. Okay, this is it here, I think. Drill right here. This arms controller still should be there. Drill. Okay. What's this? Arms control is good. All right, so I deleted the drill by accident at some point. All right. RPS. Drill fill level. Drill clutch. Starter. That's reverse. Okay, what's the composite? No composite in it? What is it? Alright, 108's the new capacity, I believe. Alright, that's good. Alright, good. That fixed the drill. Just deleted that at some point. Not being careful, moving stuff around, I'm deleting stuff. Because when it starts, it needs the drill disengaged, or it's trying to turn the drill with the starters, which is too hard to do. Let's see if I can see the drill turning. Yep, drill's moving now. All right. One thing I could do is if we're in a high enough gear, it also disengages the drill, so you can't be bucketing too fast. But I don't want to put too many restrictions on for a challenge. Alright, there we're drilling. Alright, good. So I think it's still full of coal because I was testing the capacity. Let's check it real quick. Get in there, sucker. Alright, let's see. Come on, give me the page up, you scoundrel. What the fuck? There we go. Something's got... Oh my god. Something's got a fill on it. Why is it spitting them out? That's the question. Should not be spitting them out. There's nothing filled. Unless it filled it up already, but I doubt it. Alright. 0, 0, 0. I think it's 108. Alright. I don't know why I was dumped. We'll go test it real quick. This is the thing is like kind of my process is I do proof of concept first. So I make sure the thing that I'm building is actually going to work. And I get it working. Then I start complicating it and make it so that it takes a hell of a lot longer, for example, to start. And so now it takes me much longer to start it up. And so then in order for me to go test it, I have to go do a bunch of stuff to get it tested. And that's... So now it's a much longer process to test it out. Alright, the work lights I don't know why work lights are... Oh, okay, that's why. I forgot I set the work lights up, so you click them and it will do front work lights, then you click it will do back work lights, then you click it in, it will do both work lights, then it will shut them off, so... Alright, so that's filling. Alright, so it's... I doubt it's full already, but it might be. Alright, something is fucking up. Alright. Maybe gold got shut off by accident. Gold rich dirt is on. What the hell is going on with this? This was working fine before. Why are these not filling right? What the hell is this not filling right for? I don't have any problem with jet stuff. Why is this not working right now? This is fucking weird. That was all working fine before. I don't know why that's not working. Huh. Alright, let's do a quick test on this real fast. I want to get the number again. Coal. Coal. The only thing I think of is if gold rich dirt got shut off and it won't let it in. But you can see it's on. On. Oh, yeah, they're on. See, it's on. For gold rich dirt. On gold rich dirt. On gold rich dirt. So they're all on. 108. Alright, so 108 is the capacity, so we get that right. 0, 0, 0, 0. Why is it not filling it? It's lined up fine. Alright. It was working earlier, so I gotta see what's up, why it's misbehaving. Because it's not filling the hoppers, so... Okay, it's doing... Oh, shit. Alright, player damage should be off. Oh, I started the new save, that's why. Alright. I'll go fix this in a second here. Alright, so that's working fine now. Something got screwed up when I switched it to coal. Yeah, something got switched up when I switched to coal. That's all it was. So it's working now. It's drilling fine. What issue you have? Oh, what do you mean with jet power vehicles? Just because you have to go fly them off? Hello, Grafton, how are you? Why did it shut it up? Oh, okay, it finished it up. Alright. Alright, so it's working fine now. I don't know what the deal was a second ago. Alright, that's good. This is why I make so many iterations. Every new day I play, I make a new iteration. So I make a main and a backup every time. And that way, when you accidentally delete something, you can go back and grab an older version of it. And it's also cool to like be able to kind of see how it's progressed. So, alright, let's go ahead. That's saved. Let's just verify it. Save 307, 1507 is good. Alright, let's grab a med bed for myself here. I made a new save. That's why we're having issues with why player damage was on. I shut it off and then I forgot to save the game with it off. Why did it change your name? Yeah, I noticed the I don't know. I saw it and I'm like, oh, that's Sergeant, and then I'm like, oh, maybe somebody else has the same picture. I don't know. It's weird. But hello, Sergeant. I thought it was Sergeant, and I was like, yeah, I gotta be Sergeant. This is taking forever. Should have just done med kits. Now I'll go do med kits and it'll take quicker this way. I'm really looking forward to playing some, doing some career build series after this too. I'm gonna try to stream more. I'm missing streaming, so I'd like to get back to it some more. But this is a really good challenge. This is right up my alley. My favorite multiplayer stuff we were doing was the mining, so I'd like to get back to it. All right. There you go. Excellent. Your name's fixed. All right, so that's good. We got lights in there. We got that. Most of the interior's fine. Paint, coat of paint, of course. Let's do this. Put a fire X right here. Okay. There's a fire X there. All right, good. So we got lighting in there. We got all that. It's functional again. Try to get a little shape in there. I think what I want to do is let's cut these. Let's do 1x2s. And so oftentimes what they'll have is they have directionals up high and they'll have directionals and lights down low. And the purpose of that is when you have the bucket down, the bucket's obscuring the lighting. And so as you lift the bucket up, it obscures the upper lighting and then the lower lighting, you can see it. So. All right, there we go there. And we'll grab this color here. All right, there we go. So as the bucket goes up, these lights will get obscured by the bucket, so they're no use, but there's lights underneath, and those will shine on, and so they'll do that on a lot of these loaders. All right, let's go ahead and we'll get the electricity on that done. All right, and I need to put the high beams on those. And then I need to put the on-offs on those. And then the headlights need to go to all of the backlights. That one doesn't need a backlight. That one does. This one does not. That does not. So that's good. I still have no brakes on this. I just have a parking brake, so slam that on. Let's work on brakes. So it's essentially just an inverse W. I could do it off of this panel, I think, here. Yeah. Clutch, battery. I might be out of space in this one. Oh, coolant pump. Coolant pump can go. I don't need that. Yeah, coolant pump can go. So we'll use that. Where are you at there? Coolant pump. Brakes. Yeah, so that should work pretty easily just like that. Now let's do a quick brake check. Yeah, that's what I figured. I thought it was a picture you took, and then I saw the name, and I'm like, oh, maybe it's a, you know, some pop culture thing I don't know about. I forgot to invert it. I forgot to invert it. All right, let's invert it. Yeah, I'm just playing with where stuff is. I make these, this is from my tutorial, and I pretty much use this for the tutorial. And part of the reason I do that is so that, when people say, "Oh, it doesn't work," I can just be like, literally every one of my builds use the same one for my tutorials. And then when I make something, I want all the lines to be straight. So like this drives me nuts having the lines at angles because I'm OCD about that sort of thing. But but for a tutorial, it makes it easier so you can see the line. So like stuff like this, where this is like not in line with the blocks, is driving me nuts. But it's for the tutorial, it's helpful where people can actually see stuff. So it drives me nuts, and then I try not to make them obscured in my tutorial. So it's kind of double-edged sword. All right, let's look. We got full is good, 135. So I'm liking this. This is working really well. I keep pushing the up arrow, which is normally how I shift gears, but I need it for the bucket. All right, so we're gonna slam on the brakes here. All right, slam on the brakes. Brakes work. All right, there we go. So brakes are working. All right, so kind of showing you what this is going to do is, ideally, you're going to want to go into first gear. All right, so you got to use this like a real vehicle. That's what I try to do with my vehicles. The drill is not going to come on until it's about, I think, 5 RPS. You can hear it coming in now. So you can do this stationary, but from just an RP perspective, this is what it would be doing IRL. You'd be picking it up. Fuck, it's doing it again. Why is it doing it again? So see, you can actually like use the bucket to grab the ore. But the problem is I don't know why it's the fucking hoppers aren't working again. What is up with these hoppers? I don't know what is going on with these hoppers. They're not holding the shit right. I don't know what the deal. Oh, did I not pull off the coal? No, I pulled the coal all out. What the fuck? Something's up. This is getting annoying. I don't know why this is doing this. It's probably something I'm doing, but I don't know. Let's go check it first. Yeah, see, there's nothing in the it just crashed. Game just crashed. Stand by. Put up the cover screen. Game just crashed. It's been crashing lately. Something's up. I haven't checked drivers this week though either, so could be a driver issue. I have crashed though the last couple weeks. They'll probably do a update at some point. Maybe the dump tilt threshold. That could be it. That's a good point. Yeah, I'll hook that back up. Guard Halo's got a good point. That could be it. It should be if it's less than 1. So yeah, what I'll do is I'll put a quick gauge in and I'll see where it's at and make sure that's not what it's doing. But that could be it, because if I'm going downhill, it will dump it out. Yeah, that's a good point. So could very well be that. So I might have to make it lower, but yeah, I think that very well could be it. All right, let's do this real quick. Let's go to settings, player damage off, save this. There we go. All right. Yeah, I think Guard of Halo is probably right. That's probably what it is. 1518. That was a minute ago, so this is what we were testing. All right, yeah. So we can actually test Guard of Halo's theory here. Let's actually do it this way. Do a dial, which I think he's probably right. Because I set it to 0, which ideally I would want the stuff to dump out at 0. But, again, it's for a challenge. I don't want it to be so friggin' obnoxious that, you know, and especially Alistair's got to do a bunch of these. And you make it too complicated for a challenge. You know, I used to do the challenge all the time, so it's like some insight on this was you know, you have only so much time to read all, even if a person puts really good instructions, you only have so much time to read all of it, and you're going to miss something. And eventually, like, it used to take me 16 hours to get through some of these videos. And by the end of it, you're so beat. Yes, you did read it, but, you know, by the end of it, can you remember every little bit that was going on? And the answer is probably friggin' no. And so you miss something, and then, you know, it sucks to blame the person reviewing it, because even if you put it in and say, hey, I said this, and they don't do it to be a dick to say, like, oh, I don't know why this isn't working, like insinuating you did something wrong as the builder. We don't mean to do that when it happens, but, you know, it's it can be frustrating as a builder as well if somebody doesn't use it correctly. All right, so that is drilling fine and not dumping, and we're at 0.05, so I bet you Guard of Halo's right. Let's go check it real quick, make sure it's storing. 10, yeah. And then I'm going to dump it down just to level, and I bet you it does dump out, so, which is kind of what I want. Let's see. All right, so there it dumps, so you can see. So I bet you I just had too much bite on the bucket. And then what I've done in the past, which I can't do with this one, is so I've done it before where you could actually pick them up with the bucket, but I'm not going to bother with that. And then you could actually drop these in here and, what is it, delete? Yeah, delete. So if you just drop these in here, they will sit in the bucket. So you can keep drilling and fill the bucket, but then you have to dump the bucket by the time it goes. So we started. Parking brakes on. Okay. RPS still going? Yeah. All right, we're still on. So, like, now it's tipped up. So I can tip them in the bucket, so. So yeah, all you have to do is like decrease your bite a little bit. As you go downhill, if we look at the tilt of the bucket, as we go downhill, see the number is at a 0.02. It's because it's based on, you know, essentially the level of the ground. Now as I go uphill, watch, that number is going to go up. So this is based on, it will actually tip out if it would tip out in real life. So as you go downhill, you're going to need to increase the bucket tilt to not have that tip out. You're going to have to tip your bucket up just like you would in real life. So now where a bucket's above 0, it's not going to tip, it's not going to fall out. But if you tip that bucket down, it will. And you don't even have to tip the bucket. Now in real life, I would tip the bucket and your forward motion would keep the material in the bucket, but can't really come up with a good way for that. I don't want to tie it to speed. Again, I don't want to make it overly complicated for, oh, sorry guys. Thanks. Wish there was a horn you guys could do. Make trusted users to be able to honk a horn. Thanks. Sorry, guys. So, yeah, so, like, the bucket right now, the tilt is high enough. It's going to accumulate and not dump out. So, yeah, you just kind of have to keep an eye on that. As I go downhill, watch, the number will go down because you're going down, you know, aiming more towards the ground. And then as you go uphill, it's going to increase the number, so. Thanks. Yeah, I do that all the time. It's tough because you put it up real quick and then you forget about it. Yeah, this actually drills pretty quick. Some of the people are saying they're at like 1.3 RPS. My drill goes, I think, almost 5. So this would be a lot of fun. I would like to do some multiplayer mining again because, like, you could see how you could be driving around in these, filling up your bucket, and then going and dumping them in other vehicles. And it's much more interactive. I know a lot of people think that automation is the cat's ass. That's great when you're building it, if you just want to do it as an exercise of building, but then going and having automated stuff, yes, that's also nice when you're playing by yourself, that you can essentially automate 3 jobs so that you as the 4th person can participate. But like, you'll see this a lot of times, that people, like, they automate away tasks. Well, the tasks are what makes this fun and rewarding, is actually doing the work. And when you give away all your jobs, and then they're like, I'm bored. It's like, of course you're bored. You're not doing anything. You know, it's like actually driving around, operating your vehicle, getting good at operating your vehicle. That's what's fun. You know, if you don't like operating your vehicle, fine, but then I don't know why you're playing a vehicle driving game. You know, the building part, like, I get it, you might just enjoy building and not like operating, but yep. So just driving around, like picking up. You know, and the nice thing with this too is Alistair wants you to tell him where you'd like it tested. I might just have him tested here out of ease because he can literally spawn it there, drive over here, do the test, and be done, and save him some headache as a kindred spirit who used to do these challenges and knows how annoying it is to, like, have to spend 20 minutes getting a build set up to even test it, and then one thing goes wrong and now you're screwing around. Alright, so I think we're full. So we're full, but see how the drill's still going. Yeah, so the bucket, as you can see, can hold more, but they'll eventually disappear, so. Did it not set the parking brake? There it is, parking brake, alright. Alright, we're at 108, we're full. I don't know what didn't shut off. I must have set it to 180. Alright, so now what you would do, right, you filled your bucket, alright, and you're going to go ahead and dump somewhere. So it can be anywhere. The nice thing with this is you can put it in a train car, you can put it in the back of a truck, you know, you can dump it wherever you like, you can dump it into the storage, and all you have to do is it's based on tilt, so you want to get where you want to go, and then dump them out. Get a picture of this so I have a new thumbnail because I'm always using the same old thumbnail. Okay. Get a couple thumbnails here, so I have a couple for different videos here. And also for the, it's cool, like, it's, you know, when I used to go over people's workshop pages for my challenges, it's, and I know Alistair also enjoys this too, is like, when you go and you can kind of see the progression of the build from when you first started to what it looked like at the end, and you kind of see people's decisions and how they made it, but yeah, I'm digging on this, I'm liking it. And so, like, see how they're starting to disappear? I wish the devs could put a slider in there that would allow us to say, hey, I want it to take 5 minutes for these to disappear, because then we could build stuff with no hoppers if we wanted, and we could build some really cool stuff where you're actually just moving the chunks. But I know why they did it. You know, it makes sense. Is you got a lot of people with potato PCs, and whether it's right or wrong, they get to put in their review that, oh my god, the game runs like shit. Well, how much of that is the game running like shit? How much is that their computer's running like shit? And so, you know, it's not really, you know, somebody says, oh, the game runs like shit. Well, you're like, oh, well, I don't want to buy it then. Well, on your good PC, it might run great. On somebody's shit PC, it might run like shit, you know? So it's kind of subjective. All right, so this is working really well. All right, good, very good. So it kept drilling. It says full bucket 108. Why did it not stop though? That's the question. I should have here. Let's do this. Let's fill up with coal. Yeah, so Guard Halo was right. It was just that I was full. That was all it was. Jesus. I was just full, and I didn't realize it. Let's make sure I've got the capacity set right. Where is it? Fill level drill. That is one of the hoppers. They're all interconnected, so any of the hoppers will read it. Oh, you know what I did? I did an is it still greater than on this one? It is. Okay. If it's okay, you know what? It needs to be greater than 107. That's why. All right. That'll do it. Because I put an equals in earlier, but I didn't save it. All right, so that will shut the drill off, because the drill's supposed to shut off, and you can hear the drill going the whole time you're driving this vehicle. And I really don't want to put something that tells you, hey, the bucket's full. I probably will. Again, I'm trying to make it more user-friendly just because it's not me, the person who built it, using it. And so kind of want to do some of that stuff to make it a little bit easier for people. All right, let's see. Okay. So I could do that. If I want to put one... Figure this out in a second here. See, the problem is I can't run a field of view, and that one is what, 2? I was almost thinking of doing this, but I don't think I'm gonna... I don't hate it, but I don't like it either. Because I can't do field of view on that. That sucks. Now that one's just going like that. And I have a solution for this. So let's go like... I want to go like this. I need a 1x4x3. Wedge 3 long. Wedge 4 wide. I need 1x3 by 1x4x3 is what I need. Okay, 3x4 right here. My naming conventions are all over the place. That's not helpful. I could do field of view now if I do a 3, which is I think what I'm going to do. Okay, that's in. This is what I like to do with XML, is just the ability to like hide some blocks and stuff. And like the other one is like, here, watch, I can put panels up here now where before I couldn't because the collision would hit something. Now the collision's not going to hit anything. So I can put a panel here and you can still operate the panel like that without any issue. And then this will be visible once I get rid of all this crap that's sitting on top of it. Like here, let's do it right now. Once I take something off the face here, that's going to be fine. See, now it's that's fine. Did I make it wider than it had to be? I must have. Anyway, so now I can put panels up here, so I could put something that says like the drills. I don't dislike automation. It's the problem is like people automate everything and then it's like, well, what are you going to do? And then they get bored and they're like, they're like, "Oh my god, there's nothing to do in game. I'm bored." And so it's like I like the automated builds. They're cool, but it's like for example, let's say you wanted to drive the train. You drop off your mining vehicle, it goes out and does it itself. And it brings it back to the train and you can go work the train. That's awesome. I think that's great. Would I rather, personally, I would rather bring my train in with this, unload this, go mine, dump it off on the train, mine myself, and dump mine and dump mine and dump, and then go load the vehicle back on the train, take the train away. So it's not that I'm against the automation. It's that I think what I'm saying is like some people over automate so much that literally you push one button, and for them the most enjoyable part is building the thing, and so that works for them. For me, I want to build it and I want to operate it, and so because I want to do both things, I think some of it gets taken away when you kind of give up all those jobs, and then it's like I was saying, well, what do you do then? You're like not an active participant anymore. So it's kind of, that's what I'm talking about. All right, so I can't think of like a ton of stuff I want to add there. I could put all cameras, but what I want to add is like one thing that shows you if the bucket's full. And I don't even really want to add it. I'm thinking of adding it just because like it would help with some people. This panel can go up top, I think. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, see, like I like that idea, Halo. The ability for you to run one of them and then manage the other two, because that's good. Like essentially, it's kind of like farming sim, right? There's a ton of farming sim mods that allow you to delegate that work away, and it allows you to operate one piece of equipment while other people are doing other things, And so I like that. That's up. That's more my speed. Okay, so there's not really all that many functions I need to add. So if there was a bunch of functions I needed to add to this, I would go ahead and put I don't think I'm going to put a bucket fill. I think that's not going to work for me. Let's do this. Let's do a 1x3 monitor. We'll do a wide angle rear view. We'll use regular wedge. You know, I think that's great when you can do that, but it's like, again, you know, give away too much of your work and then you wonder why you're bored. You know, some people wonder why they're bored, and it's like, yeah, you give away all your work, you're not doing anything. You know. All right, this is gonna go to, that's good there, that's fine. This will go to the camera. Let's check how bad this view is. It's not gonna look great anyways because of where I have it set up, but can't see this. That's the key. All right. I gotta check, make sure the electrical production's high enough on this. I'm adding enough things. Oh, that's gonna be fine for a rear view. Yeah, that's a good rear view on there. All right, let me make sure I don't have this backwards. So on the left side, yeah, it's backwards. This is inverted. The left side should be that shack right there. It's inverted. Okay, it's fine. So all you need to do is cut, U, paste, merge. And that will fix that problem. Alright, so now you should be able to see the gas pumps. Oh, this is still fucking backwards. I gotta do the monitor, then the monitor's backwards. The gas pump should be on my right side. My God, give me the monitor, you scoundrel. Alright, let's try it now. Alright, now the gas pump's on my right side, where it is, where it should be. There we go, so that's correct now. Alright, good. So let's go through some of the stuff for people who might not have been around. So headlights are going to turn on all the backlights on the gauges. You've got hazards. I'm going to do cherries. It will do flashers in the back. It will do the side. And it will also do the front indicators. I might put a second set of indicators up. I definitely will. Instead of extra spots, I'll put them in the inboards there. I'll put indicators. But we've got cherries going there. We got all that. Brakes I have to hook up to the brake lights. Let's see, what else? So that's that. We have high beams, so it's gonna be hard to show you here, but they aim up. You can see they're higher on the wall. They stop right there, and then they aim down. Work light. So you click the work light once, you get the top work lights. You click the work lights again, you get top and rear. Click it again, you get just rears. And you click it one more time, and they're off. All right, so that's work lights. We've got temp, RPM, fuel in gallons. We've got, that's supposed to be battery. I gotta fix that. That's battery in percentage, fuel in gallons. Speed, miles per hour. We got a gear indicator. We can shift here, or I can use the 1-2 keys. When we go in reverse, we get the backup alarm. When I press spacebar, I get the parking brake, and it also puts us in neutral. That way, if you wanted to drill in neutral, which I think's goofy and arcadey and gamey, you can do it, but you can rev up, and it will, you'll hear the drill come on here. I think. Drill should be going. Unless I set it so the parking brake can't be on. Which I don't think I did. Oh, you know what it is? They're full of coal. That's what it is. Yeah, they're full of coal. So let me get that unfilled here. So yeah, you can drill with this stationary if you wanted. So you could go sit on one. Here, I'll do it instead of telling you about it. So now you notice why I have multiple headlights. So now with the bucket up high, you can see all the headlights. With the bucket middle, it's obscuring those top headlights, and you can see it's lit up underneath. And then when it's low, the bottom headlights are obscured, and the upper ones are pretty much always obscured. Yeah, those are pretty much always obscured, it appears. But, so you can hear the drill going. So you can do stationary drilling if you wanted, but, you can do... How's it going there, David? I'll answer your question in a second. Good to see you. So you could do stationary drilling if you wanted. Go ahead, stop, set the parking brake, lower it down, rev up, and you could drill stationary if you wanted, I think. There it goes. Yeah, you could do this if you wanted. I think it's goofy, but again, it's not, you know, if somebody wants to do that, somebody, you know, is sick of driving around and they just want to get some drilling done, they can do this. You can sit here, rev up, and drill. And you notice it's pretty quick. So you hear just the engine revved up again. That means we're at full capacity. So we're at full capacity. 108, you can see it. The drill should be off. It is. We have extra because the drill still spins. You can drop those off if you wanted. All right. The other thing too is I've got this set up so it's super stable. It's a little bit foolproof so that if you don't know how to actually drive one of these, you can still use it. And so, for example, this is how you would drive a front loader with the bucket full. You'd have the bucket all the way back and you'd keep it nice and low. You want that center of gravity as low as possible. Now I'm going to go full speed. And with the center of gravity really low, because the weight of those hoppers full of ore is greater. And so as you can see, you can drive with the bucket nice and low. You can switch directions and it's really nice and stable. Now, the one thing you don't want to do in real life is raise the bucket up to here, because now your center of gravity is way high and it's way out in front of you. And I've got it set up so that it will not tip over even in this worst case scenario. In real life, it would tip over. And it should tip over. And so a real operator would not drive like this because they would roll their loader. In game, it'd be annoying to have to go respawn it because you're driving like a jerk. And so I've got it set up where it'll kind of keep you from, you know, aggravating yourself. You can see you can go all the way up and it will still not tip over. Full of ore. Bingo, there, we finally got it to go. And then, okay, so this is how you get a loader to tip back up in real life. Alright, you lower it down. So you're lowering the center of gravity. And then we might not be able to get it over. Okay, I got it too screwed up. There we go. Okay, good. There we go. And that's how you straighten out a loader. So you can get it straightened back up because I got the center of gravity nice and low. And so that's how you do it IRL. How you could tip it over. Generally, they're gonna go get a crane because they're not gonna destroy the vehicle, because as it tips back up, it's going to destroy itself. So you'd likely go get a crane to do it, or you get a excavator to come help tip it over. And one thing they'll actually do is they'll put down a bunch of tires on the other side, so as it rolls over, it doesn't break everything. But what do you think of the flexible ducts? I think they're great. I think it came in just in time for the challenge. You know, if you like the flexible ducts, make sure you go leave a comment to the devs that you appreciate it, that you're glad they put them in the game, because that's how you get more of that stuff, is you show that, hey, this is the type of stuff we want, and you show that you're glad they put it in the game. You know, that's how you get more of that sort of thing. You know, being a grouch every time they don't do what you want is not a great way of doing it. When they do something you like, that's when you should make sure you voice your opinion. Because it can't be negative all the time. It's got to be, can't just be negative when it's not something. It's got to be positive when you like something. But I think it's great. There's a ton of builds I would love to use it on. Like here, I'll save this up. I'll show you one of my builds that I would change because of that. And I'll show you how I used to do it. And so, again, anything that adds parts, adds innovation, and is really good. All right, let's go ahead and save this. Because I love parts. Parts are great. All right, let's see. So this is my mining harvester. And so if you look at how it does it here now, it has this duct that moves. And the way you used to have to do it was you'd take a vacuum and you'd have the duct here. And as you rotated it, this vacuum could then take from this duct. And that's how you had to do it. And so if you look up here, I'm doing the same thing. You have this rotating portion and a vacuum. And so that's how you would get it from there to there. So now what we could do is, one, I could add another duct piece. So I could increase my, my quantity. And then you could take this, get rid of that. And then you could go to the rope. And I have not played with these pieces yet. Let's see, duct. So it's right here, the new flexible duct. That's going to hit there. And then you go like this. And so that's how I would do it now. Where before you had to do vacuums and you had to work the angles really well. But you see now we have the flexible duct. That's much, much better. So I like that. And we can still do it the old way. Like some people said, oh, you lose capacity. You do. But you can also do it the old way if you wanted. So let's see. Drill spout. So if I click the spout, I have to turn it on, I think. There's power. Spout, where is it? I forget how to run this thing. Yeah, anyway, so I might have deleted something. But anyways, that's how I used to do them, and now you can use the flexi ducts, so I think that's fantastic. But yeah, that's really good. Let's see. I think we'll start hiding some microcontrollers. Let's see, is there anything else I need to screw with? I don't think so. I think we got the cab set up. I'm not going to add, I was going to add maybe a light or something that tells you, hey, it's full. I don't think I'm going to do that. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to do that. I was going to add in a light in here. An overhead light would be good, so I could change these 4s out for 3s and add an overhead light. Trying to think what else I want to add to this. This is looking pretty good as it is. The headlights are pretty useless because they're right behind the bucket, so I don't know. They're not useless. When I lift the bucket all the way up, they add extra light. It's not terrible. It also lights up the back of the bucket. I think what else to add on this here. Let's make sure that it's not hitting because I added some parts around. It's just like articulate the bucket a bunch and make sure all that's working all right. And then I put in the linkage for anyone who didn't see earlier. So that's faking the linkage of a real bucket. You can see it there, all the moving parts of it, and it looks like there's a cylinder working it. And then I want to make sure that it slips in there. No problem, it does. So, and a good loader, you want to be able to also lift the front up like this. So we can do that. Have good range on it. Nothing sticking or hanging really badly. Brakes are working. Oh, brake lights I gotta hook up. Let's do that. Alright, so something was for brake lights. It's up here. I need to add... Let's see. Lighting. Work lights. Right cherry rear, right directional, left headlights. Brake lights right here. Alright, so if 2 is less than B, less than 0, brake lights come on. So I gotta hook up. That should be good. I just gotta hook it up. All right. So why aren't the brake lights going off? That's a question. If they're already hooked up. The brake lights are hooked up. Did I not hook up the, I hooked up the seat. Seat panel. Oh, seat/panel. That's why. So I hooked the panel in. Fuck. Okay, so seat/panel. It's got to go like that. That's why. Okay, that's why it's not working. That's why these numbers are 7, 8, 9, so that all the seat commands can go through first. That'll fix that. Let me know if the game volume's too loud. I increase some of it. Alright, so there we go. There was our brake lights. Then I have marker lights on there as well for when you turn on the headlights. You can see everything lights up. You get marker lights. And then left directional. Okay, so I got to screw with this because I've got the gear shifter and now I don't have directionals anymore. Yeah. I'm going to change the directionals to 3 and 4. Alright, so that's that. So let's change that to 3 and 4. 3 and 4 will be our directionals now. So 1 and 2 is shifting gears. Yeah. Yes, I agree with you. You can make it more like a farming combine. Yep. Yeah, so I think the flexible belts are fantastic. I think that was a huge addition to the game because anytime you add the ability for us to build more things is exactly what the point of the game is. And so I think that's fantastic. So I'm really thrilled they added a bunch of this stuff. I don't want to put away micros yet. Yeah, I don't. What do you guys think? I don't think I need an indicator to say, hey, hey, it's full. I think that's. Yeah, I don't think I need an indicator to say it's full. I really don't. If you can't hear the drill stop, then you are in trouble. If you can't pay attention and watch all the stuff coming out, then you're doing something wrong, frankly. All right, so one thought I could do is, so one of the reasons I put hoppers on here, which I don't think I need them, I could just switch out the ducts. I'm going to switch out the ducts. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter, but I'm going to switch out the ducts. Yeah, it so doesn't matter, but I'm going to do it. I did it for testing just to check everything and see if I wanted to exclude anything, and I'm not going to exclude anything, so I can just put ducts in there. And I can test with coal with ducts, so. But, yeah. And it's still going to be the same quantity. I think the amount of time it takes to fill this and empty it is reasonable. So, like, here, let's save this real quick. And we'll do a quick we'll do a quick test run to kind of show, you know, complete proof of concept doing its job. All right, now 3 and 4 should be directionals. I got to change. Yeah, so there's 3. There's 4. All right, good. So I think the speed's fine. I think my gearbox worked pretty well. With the drill running, it's 12. I think I'm just gonna shut off smoke. But here, so all right, so you're out drilling. All right. So this vehicle's out drilling, and so we're gonna get something that can. All right, that's drilling. Oh, car. I was like, why is Caribou showing up for car? It's All right, those are all empty. All right, good. And can't remember if these have brakes on or not. Brakes are at 1. Forget how I was doing this to get rid of the brakes. Here, let's do this. This was a cool miner I had. It has these rotaries. That's my old loader. Do I have a truck that? Oh, let's do the Mac. Mac R will work for us. Here we go. All right, I want to test the height. The loader can't be too tall, unfortunately, because of the limitations of the challenge. So I kind of have to do what I got to do here. All right, you can hear. So there's a couple indications to tell you that that you're done drilling. One, the RPMs will go up because the drill is no longer taking power away from the engine. So, and then you'll hear the drill actively stop. This one's it's still going. We'll go drill some more. We'll fill it up because the we just finished up that spot. But you can hear the drill going. It kind of has that squeaky noise. It goes squeak every once in a while. And once that stops and your RPM kind of goes up, you can tell that you've reached it's full. You can also tell by stuff falling out, and it stops drilling, you know. Yeah, exactly. I don't want a full hopper light. It seems too arcadey. It's like, again, it really doesn't take that much for you to figure out, you know, how to know that it's full. You know, and it's kind of like, you know, have some faith in humanity. Have some faith in humanity. Don't treat people like they're stupid. Like, you know, I think people can figure this out. Especially, you know, Alistair will be fine. I'll put some instructions for him. That are reasonable on the workshop page. Alright, so let's say we're full. We're going to go and we're going to make sure it will fit in this dump truck. Should be fine. Height-wise, looks good. And again, you should downshift instead of riding in a high gear. Alright, it's doing first person, which is good. There we go, perfect. Alright, good. Alright, so that is perfect on height. I think that works well. You know, I don't think I'm going to have any problems with the height on this. Yeah, so you can see that's working well. It has 5... Oh, brakes. It has 5 funnels to dump it, so you can see it dumps pretty quickly. And then, so you can kind of see how this could quickly turn into single-player fun and multiplayer fun of, like... You know, I'm looking forward to doing multiplayer again, where we can, you know, like somebody could be driving the dump truck, somebody could be driving this. I've got a ton of other mining vehicles. It was one of the reasons why I made so many mining vehicles was so that we could kind of swap it up, and that was some of the most fun I had in game, was doing multiplayer mining with people. And this is the type of thing that I think is more fun. If you just sit stationary doing a miner, you know, you're not really driving all that much. This, as you can see, we're drilling. It's dumping because the bucket was tilted down too much. That's fine. Don't tilt your bucket down so much. And then this actually gives you a reason to shift your gears, because now we're moving faster. Now I'm downshifting, right? And I'm going to drill. I'm going to get the next spot. Now I'm going to speed up again and turn around. So it gives me a reason to actually drive my vehicle. So now we're in 5th gear, going fast. As I come up to the patch, let's slow down at first. And if you don't understand how the gearing works, you have a max RPS in your engine. If you put it in a low gear, it's going to limit your speed. It's like a speed limit or a governor on there. Alright, and now I'm going to upshift again to get moving and go to the next patch. I'm going to downshift, drop my bucket. We'll do all from first person for a little bit. Alright, good. We're going to raise it up. Let's go speedy again. Alright, let's downshift again to go slow as we go over the patch to get as much as we can. As you can see. And as long as you're going uphill, you can level the bucket out like you would in real life. Like, you'd level it out. But, I might change it so you have to dump it a little bit more. I think that's what I'll do so there's less spillage. Because it's just going to be frustrating. You're going to spill a lot of spots, and then you're not going to be able to tilt your bucket where it would be. Yes, it releases based on tilt. Yep. So like right here, it shouldn't release, but if you did more than that, it would release it. So we're still drilling, so now I'm upshifting again. I'm in 5th gear, we're moving fast. We're gonna start downshifting to go slow. Yeah, so if you go downhill, as long as the bucket tilt is less than 0, it will dump. So like if I didn't tilt the bucket up here, it would probably start dumping out. Gonna speed up again. Slow down. Alright, and you can hear the drill still going, so you know you're not full yet. Probably getting close at this point. It's got a good turning radius for its size. I'm going to shift down to first again. If you wanted to, you could also do this, which is what you do in real life. You'd go in a reverse, you back it up. You go forward. Now the drill didn't kick in yet. It might be full. Might be full. Stand by, let me check and see if it's full. No, it wasn't full. I'm gonna have to, I might change when the drill kicks in a little bit more. Yeah, it's full. Is it full? It looks full to me. Alright. So you can keep them in the bucket, they will stay in there. And then... Oh, tipping it over. Shit. Just tipped it over. Alright. And you can see it's pretty easy to tip back up, so... That's nice, it's not overly frustrating if you tip it over. It's not like, shit, I gotta go get the crane. You can tip it over yourself, which is nice, I like that. What's going on here? Am I out of fuel? I'm out of fuel. I ran us out of fuel. Alright, that's it. Ran us out of fuel. Alright, let's do this. For now. I ran us out of fuel. Alright. So that, I need to fix the... add some fuel, because that's not going to be enough fuel economy. Exactly. Little rookie driving mistakes there. You know, and the other thing too is you can make it so that this, you know, put the truck closer, but yeah, that's pretty good there. We're at, that's about 2 full buckets worth there. Yeah, so that's kind of fun, you know, it's a little bit more interactive. I like it like this. This is good. Alright, let's bring it back in. Alright, so we probably want a little bit more fuel capacity. So we can work on that. So let's work on the fuel capacity, and what we're going to do is we're going to start cutting. Oh, I can't cut components I need. Let's not do that. All right, so what is that? That is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4 by 2. So I need a 4 by 2. That will fit the bill. So I can't have this be ultra fuel inefficient, but I don't think it's terrible. I just need bigger capacity because you'll make the money back. It's just that right now, like that wasn't that much time and it ran out of fuel, so. Yeah, it's gonna have problems there with the flywheel. Hmm. Big part of the problem is this frickin' flywheel. Batteries can go somewhere else. Do it right behind the wheel. I don't want to really see the batteries. The other thing we got to check is make sure the batteries are adequately being charged. Yeah, that's something I'll look at. Is the battery adequately charged? That would just be, do I need more alternators? Do I need a more robust system for charging? I doubt it. I'm not using much in the way of electricity, so I doubt it, but we'll see. All right, that's there. All right, so that has to go there. I'm trying to see where I can add some fuel. Okay, that all looks good for cutting for fuel increase. Should be able to get a sizable amount of fuel in there. I gotta make sure I'm not deleting shit that I can't delete, like, that's fine there. This needs to be there like that. That's fine like it was. Alright, so that has to be like that, so we can put a piece like that. I cannot remember if gearboxes are sealed or not. I kind of don't want to fart around with this being in. Yeah, let them do too much here. Because I don't like putting my transmission in a fuel tank. I think that's goofy as shit, so I don't want to do that. Yeah, I think that's goofy. I don't want to do that. Let's cut in as much fuel as I can get in here. Put some micros in here as they'll fit. But yeah, I think it's goofy to do too much. And then anything where there's a wedge here can be a microcontroller later, and to increase my capacity. So we're at 150 liters, I think. 150 gallons, I think. What's this? That can go. That can go. Yeah, be careful. This isn't perfectly symmetrical, so I gotta watch the other side. Okay. Oh, I meant to fix this. This still hasn't gotten fixed yet. Do that right now. Could put an air intake on one side and exhaust in the other. See if it will survive with one exhaust. I think it should be fine with one exhaust, but I gotta put in. Okay. All right, there we go. That fixes that issue, and then what we want to do is do. Like that. So we can air filter on one side and exhaust on the other. Make sure that's air in again. Yeah, that works. All right, good. That's good. All right, go back to fuel in here. Okay, that fixes that. Just need a little bit more capacity to make this kind of hum the whole time and not have problems. All right, good. So I think it was 150 gallons last time. We'll see what it ends up with now. I want to make sure my character stands on that all right. Sometimes wedging the sucker out it makes them so they don't stand right. That's fine. Nope, I am getting stuck. See how I'm getting stuck? Gotta be careful of that shit. All right. So we'll get in the seat, check it out, make sure I can get out all right. Doesn't appear I'm getting stuck in there. Let's see what the fuel looks like now. 307 gallons. Yeah, it's added quite a bit. See if there's anywhere else. I can put microcontrollers in there and increase it even more. Because, like, they take up less space, but... All right, that's not too bad. Hopefully that does us all right. What was it, 305, something like that? Yeah, so with 140 gallons before we're up to 305, so that helps. I want to go and do additive paint here. Make that additive paint. There we go. I did the wrong button. That would do it. All right. I should be able to fill it up on either side there. It's ventilated fine. All right, let's give it a quick test run now that I redid the air on it. All right. I redid the air and exhaust, so. All right, that RPS going down is the drill starting. Yeah, so the max speed's, I think, plenty fast. It doesn't need to, you know, go forever. It also, like, if you make your wheel loader too fast, then, you know, it makes it viable to drive it out to the mine, where I'd rather put it on a low loader, and then you have to use a truck and a low loader. It gives you a reason to use that equipment that you built, you know. You also have those are the fake hydraulic cylinders for the steering are in there. All right. Now it's showing 107 gallons. I'm just gonna do a kind of a cheaty ass drill here real quick. I want to see what the RPS is maxed out on the drill. Drill's going at 6.5 RPS pretty much, so that's pretty damn good. That will drill fast. So max, if you wanted to sit here and do it really fast, we're already about 50% full. Alright, that finished up that spot. We're gonna move up. But you could sit here and do this cheaty ass shit if you wanted. It's, you know, up to you. I think it's silly, but if you want to do it, you can do it. Alright, so I want to know why it's not stopping. It's supposed to be stopping. But it's not, so I gotta figure that out. Alright, but the benefit of it not stopping is all of that ore that's still in the bucket, we can sell that. I think it's sitting funny because of the ore being stuck in there. The front directionals are still flashing when I do the one key. I don't know why. And then again, the point of a manual gearbox, the biggest part about it is you actively selecting the gear you want. I think those pieces of ore are jamming up the drill bit, so I want to make sure they get shut off. Cause see how it's funky right now? I think that's because of the ore being in the drill. Fuck me. Okay, it's full. I filled up the truck already. So the truck's full already. Alright, so see how it's sitting normal too now that we get that ore out of there? Let's see why the hell this isn't shutting off. Okay, so there's probably something I could do. Let's do, if the bucket fills up to 100. If the bucket is greater than 100, it will stop the drill. You know, one thing I wanted the devs to add is a brake block. So essentially like a one block item, kind of like a motor. And you would just, it would stop, you know, it'd add a braking force. Like you can do it for like people do it for rotor brakes on their helicopters, but they do a big wheel and you have to add a wheel. It's annoying. So it'd be kind of cool if it was just like a one block item and you could put a braking force in and add extra braking force, but all right, that works for me. So when it hits 100, it should stop the residual turning, but I still hear it turning. I don't know why it's not stopping it, so let's check. Because this is the clutch, the drill clutch. And if the drill fill level is greater than 100 now, which it was 108, it's one of the ones here. It's X, Y, Z. X or Y or Z will cause the up-down counter to go to 0, which will tell the drill clutch to be at 0. So it is shutting it off. Let's see. You got XOR. Good evening. Sorry for not replying. It's fine. Oh yes, no problem. Yeah, it was fine. I had issues with when I first started streaming. I forgot to put my saves over, and so that was also like I was double checking everything because I had issues earlier. Let's see. Yeah, because I think the reason it was being wobbly and weird was because the ore was getting stuck. So I wanted to make sure that wasn't happening. I'm trying to think. There's nowhere I can add. See, like what I wanted when I put it in my request was essentially you took a motor and take a block like this and call it a brake block, and you can put it on any sort of pipe that has an RPS connection and then apply a brake force to it. And so what I would do is when it hit that number, it would disengage the clutch and engage the brake and stop the drill hard, and the drill wouldn't run at all anymore. Yeah, so that would be what I would want to do. But I think it's fine the way it is. I'm not worried about it. All right, good. Yeah, I don't know why this one's still going when... Let's make sure this is on the right one. So that's the left directional. So something's still getting run on the directionals. Okay, here's left directional, right directional. Okay, that's left rear directional. Okay, that's why. So this here should be 1, should be 3, and this should be 4. That's why. All right, 3 and 4. That fixes that issue. All right, good. That fixes that issue. Nice. Oh, very nice. Do you know the minimum RPS required for the mineral drill to function correctly? You could run it pretty damn low. Like if you put an electric motor on there, you could run it pretty damn low. The faster you run it, of course, the more you're going to be, the more quickly you're going to be drilling. You know, so that's, I wanted to get up to a speed where because you're driving over the spots, I wanted the drill RPS to be really high so that it, so you wouldn't be wasting time. Stand by, I just got the message. Somebody's telling me you need to run your engine at 60 RPS. You never need to run. Why would you ever run your engine greater than 60 RPS in game? Or at 60 RPS? Yeah, like even the Non-modular clutch for a brake would be fine. Yeah, I'm trying to think. Yeah, but having a braking block would be good because I'd like to be able to stop that drill dead in its tracks. Like I don't think I have a space for an electric motor, and I don't want to use an electric motor. What I could do is, let's do this. I wonder what the resistance on a generator is. Here, let's save this. Let's do a test. Okay, let's do this. Let's do a test. Take a base plate. Because ideally, like, shouldn't be this friggin' hard to make brakes, but I get why they didn't add it because, you know, they can't imagine everything we want or need. And then there's, you know, certain hierarchy of things. But let's see, drill. All right, here's the drill. All right, there's the drill. And I'm going to just do a motor. All right. Motor. All right, we're going to do a T-piece. Take a generator. See, the problem is you got to add clutches to this shit, and that causes problems. So if I did a generator, it would take a clutch. Yeah, generator would be annoying. But some way to have like a braking force would be important. Yeah, start adding clutches. Now you gotta, you know, you're adding 2-part clutch, so 2-block clutch. Then you're adding, you know, something else on there. It's like, it's just making it huge again. I need to read RPS of the drill, probably. So I can't run. See, like, the torque gauge is huge, too. So I have to read this somewhere else, which is friggin' obnoxious. So it just, every solution to this becomes huge for no reason. Yeah, so like everything becomes huge for no real reason. Because I have to read the RPS, get the RPS down to 0 because I can't just brake force. It's annoying. All right, so let's see. All right, so essentially, I'm gonna run this a break. It takes up too much space already, but I hit the toggle, it turns on the drill motor. When I shut the drill motor off, it's going to, when it's off and the RPS is greater than 0, it's going to feed a negative number matching the RPS to that. Let's clamp it. There we go. So let's run that real quick. But it's too big. That's a problem. It's already freaking huge. All right, let's go. RPS, brake motor, drill motor. All right, toggle. All right, let's do. All right, so that's going to show an RPS there. This should be going the opposite direction. And then once it's can only go negative if it's positive. That's reading. Starting to come off. It's not terrible, but it like I have to read independent RPS of that after the drill. It's not that fast. I want to insta stop, so let's put. I want to get it kind of close to where it was drilling because I'm drilling at. Originally, I was going to do this diesel electric, but it's a pain in the ass to do that, and I don't like it. It's less mechanical. So this is about the speed. Mine's going 6.5 RPS. This is doing 5.8. So you'd be using a huge amount of electricity to not get that great a speed. So that's a little less than what mine's drilling now. And that's much faster to shut off, but still you see it's not that quick. Where? Let's try this. So again, this is the problem why it's annoying to me that they don't have a brake block. Because you can literally do this with a wheel, but the wheel is huge. So literally all you would do is make it a one-block wheel. That's all you do. So you take a wheel. This is what a lot of people do, right? Shrink the tire radius down. And then you go in here. And you make that a... Oh, this should have been a -1. Never mind. Let's do -1. Let's make that a -1. I might have screwed the pooch on this one. -1. Is that an inverse in there? Yeah, the problem is I need to put an RPS, something to read RPS, and the only thing I'm going to have to really read RPS is a torque meter. Because I need a way to shut off the electric motor to say, hey, it stopped, stop. So I need a way to read the RPS, where a brake doesn't need that. A brake's just trying to stop it. So there's the torque meter. That's pretty quick. And it stops. So like that works. but it takes those parts, and I need to have the electricity on hand to do it. So that's one option. Proof of concept that works. Now let's copy this. Let's do it over here is fine. And the problem is I'd have to find a place, and then I'd have to route it to put this big ass thing in there, which that's what sucks. All right. I need the RPS down. No, I don't even need the RPS. I just need a break on there. All right. All right, so they actually stop at about the same amount of time. Yeah, they actually stop at about the same amount of time, so. Still a lot slower than I like. I like it to stop it pretty much instantly. What I think I'll do is I'll just tune this in so that it, you know, that's going to get 8. Let's do 90. Let's go out there and drill. See if, because it will keep spinning for a little bit, and then it will stop itself. And I pretty much want the residual rotation to go ahead and carry it through. I have to find a new ore patch. I'll go up the hill and get a brand new ore patch I haven't hit yet. That one I hit recently, so probably won't take that much. I'll go hit one of these patches over here. So I sent a message to Alistair asking him in the questions He says it has to fit within the box, including. I think it's inclusive of the box. I'll read it, make sure everybody thinks that I'm thinking of this correctly, because the last thing I want is it not to work for me. Because I got to make sure I don't get disqualified for size. The only thing that would be sticking out are the cherries and the stuff on top. Now I could cut down the roof line, but I don't want to. The proportions are correct. It will fit in the box. I'll put the box down. We'll see what everybody thinks, but I'll get the exact wording of what he said. You have the whole area the box takes up. So yeah, that makes it sound to me that I also have the red lines, which it's fine. I'm within, so. Alright. Alright, see, we're still drilling. What the fuck? Why is this still drilling? We're at 108. I said 90. Why is it still drilling? What is going on? The clutch pressure's at 0. Oh, it's the wrong clutch. This clutch. Okay, something got screwed up there. Alright, perfect. I think something screwed up. What the hell happened here? Why is this not connected right? Ugh. Alright, that right there is the drill clutch. Something is not doing this. When the drill fill level is greater than this, let's see what's up with this. When the drill fill level is greater than that, this should zero the goddamn thing. Reset value 0, clamps enabled, 0 to 1, that's the reset. If it's X or Y, or that's ORs, right? Yeah, those are OR statements. Right there, OR statements. So that is Z. Z is one of the OR statements. So if the drill fill level is greater than 90 is what I put in there, and it wasn't stopping. All right. I can test this stationarily at the bench, so we'll do that. So the logic is sound. Yeah, the logic is sound. So let's make sure that it's connected correctly, because that might be the issue. Starting to annoy me. Drill clutch, right there. That's the drill clutch. Does it have electricity? It does, or else it would never engage. So what the Christ is it doing? Yeah, I want to know why that's not working right. All right, so one thing I can do here is increase the coal level in these to 100%, and the clutch should show 0 because the clutch should show 0 because it's already over 108. Fill bucket 90. Let me see. I'm no longer limited to a capacity of 108. Well, it's what I'm trying to do is have the drill stop before 108 so that the residual motion gets it to 108, but no more, because I don't want to spill any more. It's causing like issues. So, all right, let's try this. All right, so with that over 108, it should never drill should never start. Alright, so it's clutching in when it should be reading 108. Oh, what the fuck? Oh, you know what it was? I didn't reconnect it. That's all it is. I didn't reconnect it. Okay, fuck me in the ass. This is that's all it was. It's a frustrating. Alright, good, good, good. That's what it was. Alright. Oh, he's got an idea. Share it with the class. Okay, good. So now that should shut off. All right, good. See how fast we're pissing through our fuel. Not that fast. It's not terrible. All right, good. Did I get rid of the coal? No. Okay. That's one of the things I like that I would say it's why the devs added these sliders where you could put some coal in it. One, if you wanted to fill up on coal, but two, that's how you can test some of the shit without having to actually go out and there and drill, because like this base is great, but you have to have the arid biome to do it. RPS would cancel? What do you mean? I don't know what you mean with RPS would cancel. All right, here comes the drill. You can hear it starting to turn. It's starting to put load in the engine. But that's a pretty good speed for the drill, 6.8 RPS, or 6.5 RPS rather. I'll stop it at 108. See, it drills pretty fast, because the drill itself is going at 6.5 RPS pretty much. The engine noise is incredible. Okay. Thanks for letting me know. How about that? Is that better? Yeah, I can kind of see where it is compared to my talking. It was louder than my talking, so that... Alright, so it stopped. It got us to... See, it's the drill's still turning. We'll go to 108. I think that would be fine. So the drill did disconnect that time correctly. Alright, we'll go back to 108. Alright, good. Yeah, I usually don't use a 3x3. Like, if you look at anything else, I usually do the... I usually do a 1x1, but in order to run the drills, and especially to run the drills at a reasonable rate, I need a ton of torque. And so that's why I chose to do 3x3s on this one, was just it gives me the torque I need. All right, save that as the backup. So this is pretty good. It needs pretty much hide microcontrollers. And paint. And a little bit of this and that. Oh, you like the sound it makes? Yeah, I think it makes a cool noise. Yeah, it sounds pretty cool. Like, literally, I've never had the radiator turn on this thing, so I don't know if it's even ever going to overheat with the... I don't even know if the radiator is ever going to turn on, so we'll see. That's like somebody again talked on Reddit was like how hard it is to cool modular engines. Like, it is a piece of cake to cool modular engines. But what they do is they don't understand how to make a transmission. They don't understand how to do gearing, and so what they do is they immediately go to 60 RPS to make any power. And one, I don't know how they stand the sound of it. And then it's like they're redlining their engine in their car, and they have one gear. Yeah, you would burn up your car too. And so that's why they made a transmission. If a car could go without a transmission, like, for example, an electric car, it doesn't need a transmission, because on electric motor, some electric motors, you can go from 0 to 15,000 RPM. And so your car, you don't need to go up all the way that high on RPM. Well, your gas motor, so let's put it this way. If you have an electric motor that can go from 0 to 15,000 RPM, you can hook it to your wheels and you can go any speed you need to go. You can go slow, you can go fast. With an engine, you can only go from, say, 0 to 4,000 RPM on that particular engine. Well, the only way to get the wheel to go faster is to gear it. you know, and so you need that to keep it within that power band or within that RPS range of the engine. So it's a piece of cake when you learn how to do transmissions properly. Like most of my land vehicles, you could probably do without any cooling, and they would never need cooling. All right. So yeah, this is coming along nicely. It's the 9th. I've got 20 days to finish this, so that's nice. How's it going there, Samuel? How are you? Yeah, I you know, people go to. I always put up the transmission tutorial, and it's on there. Um, you know, if somebody wants to, if somebody would petition to have Reddit post that video as the for making transmissions, but I'm not going to self promote myself over there. I don't do that. But yeah. All right, let's see. Do I want to work on this anymore? I think I'll take a break and jump off. This is coming along though. I'm glad Alistair picked this for a challenge because it's very doable. I think in the amount of time. I also picked something that I think is reasonable because like the mechanics of it's not too bad to throw together. The look of it's not too bad to throw together. What really starts to cut into it is like when I was trying to do the lobster boat for his last challenge, I was like, I really didn't even want to work on it because I was like, I have to, and I made a pretty simple lobster boat that was gonna be pretty easy to make an interior on, but the interior would have still taken me a ton of time. This, with having a single operator cab, not a lot of screens going on here, I can keep it simple and it doesn't seem like it's underdone. If I had like some of the people's boats had like 5 rooms in them, so they had sleeping quarters and they had kitchens and they had all this. And I've done that for like Alistair did another challenge. It was the research boat, and I essentially made my crab boat and did research buoys. And so that had a lot of rooms in it. And so you kind of have to fill all that out, and that takes a ton of time. And I just haven't had the time. So this one here, I can knock out the mechanics in the shell, and I've got some stuff like my lighting micros I can reuse. And that doesn't take too much time. And then, so that's pretty advantageous. All right. Let's make sure it's saved one more time. And I can easily paint this. This will take me, like, literally, paintings takes all of about this. I go like this. Bang. And then I paint everything else that I want. That my yellow color. Bucket, I decide, is the bucket going to be yellow? Yeah, bucket's going to be yellow. Okay, that's yellow. This is yellow. Start painting. And then the arms are going to stay black, or they're going to go a different shade of black, and then it comes together really quick. Then I'm going to put a couple pet logos and a number logo on it, and this thing will be easy to paint. So I kind of picked one that will be reasonably easy to work on. But I think this will be a fun challenge. There are some cool builds on there. I'm happy to see everybody else's. But all right, guys, if you liked the video, give the video a like. If you're new and you enjoyed it, consider subscribing. It was good to see everybody, especially some face I haven't seen in a little while. It's always good to see. Glad to be able to stream with you guys again and hang out. I'd like to get some more streaming done, and then eventually, when I get this done, it would be fun to do some multiplayer mining again sometime. So thanks, guys. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.